Hello everybody, I am Sharath, working as an associate professor in Rajiv Institute of Technology, Austin. Welcome to this lecture video. In this lecture video, we will see object-oriented programming with Java laboratory program number 9. Okay, so lab program number 9. So program number 9, they have given like this: develop a Java program to raise a custom exception for division by zero using try, catch, throw, finally. So hope already we have discussed exception mechanism to handle the exception and custom exception, all those things. Okay, related to that, they have given one program. Okay, in this program, what we have to do is we have to develop a program for user defined exception. What type of exception? That should be a division by zero, and we have to use these four things: try, catch, throw, finally. Okay, we know exception. What is an exception? Exception, it's an unexpected thing that happens during the runtime. So to handle that, we have some mechanisms. What are those mechanisms? Try, catch, throw, throws, finally. Here they told we have to use these four mechanisms to handle this custom exception. What kind of exception? Division by zero. Okay, when we get division by zero exception, when we try to divide a number by zero, at that time we get this kind of exception. Okay, so in the program we have declared two classes. So one class A and another one. So I will just rename this here. Program number 9. Okay, this is our user defined exception class, and every user defined exception class will extend the exception because the super class will be the exception. Okay, we will get into program. Within the main, we have written try, catch, finally, and also throw. We declare three variables: a equals to 10, b equal to 0, and c. If the b value is equal to 0, we have to throw the exception, or else we have to divide and we have to give the output. When there is an exception, catch will execute. When there is no exception, catch will not get executed. Finally, irrespective of the exception occurs or not, at the end, finally is going to execute. These are the basic things already we have discussed in the class. This is the class, our own exception class, that extends the superclass exception. Within this class, we have written the constructor, parameterized constructor, and within this constructor, we have used a super keyword. Okay. The program flow go like this: try block is going to execute first. In this, int a equal to 10, b equal to 0. Okay, here the value of b is 0. Here we have given 0. Okay, if it is 0, yes, it matches, the condition gets true. If of true, we will enter into if block. Within if block, what we are doing, we are throwing the exception explicitly. We know the usage of throw and throws. Throw keyword, if you want to throw the object exception object explicitly, we make use of throw keyword. So throw new. So here we are calling the constructor, parameterized constructor. So it throws the object, exception object, and the control goes to here. The control goes to here. So this is the message that we want to display when exception gets occurred. Okay, so that message will be received by this variable message. It's of a string type, and when this constructor get executes, see here what we have written: super of message. Okay, message, this will be the same. Okay, now what happens if we call super of this message? Here you should be aware, here we should know the working of super. What are all the users of super keyword? Super keyword will be used to call the super class method. Super keyword will be used to call the super class variable, and like that super keyword will be used to call the super class constructor. This is very important. Here we are calling the super class constructor. The meaning of this line is we are calling the super class constructor, means the control will go to super class constructor. Here, which is the super class for this a exception? Exception is the super class. So this is an inbuilt class. Okay. Now automatically it will control will go to exception class. Inside that exception, it will go to constructor, the control. See, just for the reference, we have written like this. See, assume these are the inbuilt codes. We have a class exception, and we know for all the exception related things, which is the superclass throwable, because exception and error, these two are the subclasses of throwable. So obviously class exception will extends throwable. Now every exception class will have a two constructors. One is parameterized and another one is default. So here when we call this super of message, so control will go to superclass constructor. So exception is the superclass. So what type of constructor, whether it is a parameterized or default? So it's a parameterized. We are passing the parameter. So the control will come here. Again, inside this parameterized constructor, so it has a super keyword. Again, this line is going to call the constructor of the superclass, means constructor of the superclass of exception. For exception, which is the superclass throwable. Now the control will go to the constructor, parameterized constructor of throwable. Now the control will come here. Okay, control will come here. Here inside this parameterized constructor of this throwable, we have a method called toString method. So here the job of the toString method is it allocates the message, whatever the message we have sent, to the object thrown, what we have thrown explicitly using throw keyword. For that object, this message will be allocated. Okay, very simple. ToString method will allocate the message to the object. So when we display that object, whatever the message we have assigned, that message is going to display. So it will throw. So that object will be catched by this catch block. So we are displaying the object. We are displaying the object. So when we display the object, whatever the message we have assigned, that message it is going to display. Now, finally, we'll execute at the end. Okay. So this is how the program goes to develop a custom exception for divide by zero. Okay. Now we will execute this program. Okay. Here, same program I have copied. Let me run this. Yes. See here, this is the output. See here, A is the name of the subclass what we have given. Any name you can give, that name will be displayed. Suppose, see this, I will change this class name to AB and constructor name AB. Here also I should change AB. Now see here, same class name it is going to give. Okay, and the message what we have assigned to the object, this message is going to display here. And finally, at the last, whether exception is there or not, finally will get execute. Here we have given a value of b is 0. Let me change this value and check. Suppose if you make b as 0, then there will be a no exception. 10 divided by 2, yes, it's possible. So check the output. See 5. Here what happens? 10 2. So b will not be equal to 0. So entire if block is not going to execute. So control will come here. C equal to a by b, 10 by 2. So value of C is 5 we are displaying. And finally, at the last, it is going to execute. Whatever we write in the finally block, it is going to execute, irrespective of the exception occurs or not. Suppose I will change. Now I will make the value of B 0. Now I will change this message. Now see, this is the message I am assigning to the object. So I am displaying the object. So whatever the message we write and we display the object, same thing we will get it as an output. Now observe the change. It's an error. Whatever we write, so this message will be assigned to the object by toString method. So toString method, it will be allocated in throwable class. Okay. Suppose instead of displaying the object, if we write something in catch block, okay, then this message will not get displayed. If we want to display this message, we have to display the object. So we are giving our own statements here. So let me run this. See here. So you got this out. It's a catch block error. It's a catch block error. You don't get this. Okay. So always it's good to display the object. And this message will be assigned to this object. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. This is all a program about the custom exception division by 0. Thank you.